meeting notice of verification. The signs went up for 4 days. It also was online as well. We're going to waive the reading of the previous minutes. Moving forward.
All right, please make a motion to waive
Yeah,
the meeting.
I got food waiting.
All in favor?
Yeah, we are.
All in favor? Yeah. So it was, okay.
And JC's going to talk about the financials because Mike is not here today. He's
Yeah.
flying in tonight.
So for those of you that haven't met me, I'm JC, I'm the property manager, and I'm going to get right into the good stuff here. So this is as of the end of last month, the end of September. At that point, the association had $8,688, get rid of the pennies, in the operating account, $110,091 in your money market account, which is the reserves. You have approximately $4,075 in delinquencies. The vast majority of that is with a single homeowner who is on a payment plan. Then you have 2 homeowners that are on the second payment, and the rest of it is just people pay slow. So you don't really have an issue you're collecting, it's just coming a little slower than normal, that's all. And that's pretty much it for the financial side of it. We'll get into some more later. Any questions on that? Basically what I just read off is on the balance sheet the way it will, okay? Alright. So with that said, let me just get one of the things right out of the way. Let me find it. So per your attorney's request, I need a motion, and just kind of copy the motion. I need a motion from the board to ratify Alan Wozniak's signing of the quitclaim deed prepared and provided by former HOA attorney Keith Skorowitz in January of 2023. So basically, you're acknowledging that that took place. Yeah. So somebody needs to make a motion for that. Yeah. Seconded. All in favor?
This is Lisa.
Okay. All right. So the next thing we have is the street lights. Now this is going to get interesting. So, the last meeting, we spoke basically about 3 things regarding the street lights. Okay. One was you have 4 street lights that need the plug that need to be fixed. We were talking about how Duke Energy is going around and replacing the lights themselves with LED lights, so we put a request in. When we put a request in, we also put a request in to have the street lights, the poles repainted. Okay, we got it approved. We're in the production. When I get to production, it was cancelled, but we were not notified. And the reason we were not notified, and I hope I brought those forms that I emailed to you. Okay. Even though we're paying your electric bill, we're not authorized to talk about your account. It's crazy, but we just found this out today. But we got a form for that. We'll fix that. But here's what happened. We all were under the assumption that you guys are leasing the streetlights. You're not. You used to. You had a lease to own with the streetlights from the developer. You've been owning those lights for the last few years. So therefore, Duke will not come and fix them. They'll take care of the light bulbs, but that's it. So if you want the streetlights painted, it's on you. But meanwhile, they didn't give me a quote because we talked about possibly getting new lights. So I got the quote, which is the first page I just gave you. And the bottom line here is that you have 16 lights, 15 inside the community, 1 outside the community, by the island. And for whatever reason, they put a different light bulb in that one. But the bottom line here is if you want new light poles and new bulbs and the whole 9 yards, it's going to cost you $447 per month. So that's a lot of money. I mean,
How expensive are light bulbs just to buy?
yeah. This is for replacing the poles and the heads.
Oh, I see.
So if you want to do that, it's going to be much cheaper to simply get a quote and have the poles painted, because Duke will still take care of the bulb on top.
I see.
And they're coming out now to fix those 4 lights. Somewhere with the numbers there. But you own the lights, so it's on you.
What do you guys think? We should just get like some handyman.
I can make
lights,
quotes.
enough.
And basically, they would have to strip the paint and repaint it, 16
Why are we
lights.
still paying that in our tax
So
bill?
I'll get a quote for that, but no freebies here. I'm gonna put this with Lisa.
JC, could I ask a question about that? On our tax bill, each of us, all 47 of us, are getting billed for streetlights still. So if we own them, why are we still paying?
Some same for you. I have the same thing in Pine Glen right on the street. They're paying $900 because they have no lights. They're paying $900 every month on their electric bill just to have the lights and still paying for the taxes too. It's just like not-for-profits, you guys never pay taxes, now you're paying taxes. Because instead of calling it tax, they call it, it's a special assessment for stormwater. It's like $400 or $500 a year you're paying now. Same thing, it's just a money grab. But yeah, that has nothing to do with it. You own those lights and you still pay those taxes for them. It's just like a business that has ad
So we're basically
taxes.
paying taxes on the value of the lights?
This doesn't sound right, because I was involved with, when we were considering adding more lights because of the dark areas in the neighborhood, and this doesn't sound accurate, but I'll look into it. Yeah, I'm gonna look into it on my behalf, because I'm paying for something that you say we already own, so I'm gonna be making some calls. Doesn't sound right, whatever they're saying.
Okay, we know what you're here. Wrong money either.
Is it like property tax?
Yeah, if you look at your
So,
property tax bill,
Yeah, it's on the tax bill.
each one of us.
But even if we own our house, we have to pay property taxes.
Right.
So is it the same way for the lights?
It's categorized, like the regular tax, and you'll look down. I could, I'll post it on the page. I'll show you guys where it is. It's for our community street.
Actually, guys, in one meeting, please. Actually, the way the streetlight repair's done, you go do streetlight outage, and it takes you to a map, which is kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
So then what happens is you zoom in on, you find your neighborhood, you zoom in, you click on Florida, find your neighborhood, and then what happens is they have a little logo where every streetlight is.
Yeah.
And you click on it, and then a menu pops up. What are you reporting? Is it crooked? Is the light out? Whatever the problem is. And then you put your cell phone number in, and they will text you when they come out. They will text you when it's fixed, and then they'll text you to complete a survey.
Okay, I saw they came and did ones in by our houses, like a month ago, so I was just curious if that happens.
Yeah. In the past, you would have to go up to the light and get the number of it.
They're actually on the pole.
Yeah.
They're like on the side of the
But you don't need it anymore. It's so much nicer on the map. Anyway. Okay, so the next thing we had on the agenda was the call box, the gates. So, is that the right one? Yeah. So we had a quote way back when from your gate company for the system from Apple Electronics, and I was asked to get 2 more quotes. So I approached some other companies for the exact same system. So we're having examples. So All-Star came in at $7,100 to replace the call box system up front, which is the entire system basically. New call box has a camera in it, and then you can download, doesn't matter if it's iPhone or Android, you download an app, and when somebody pulls up at the gate, you can see them on your phone. And you can open it, you can talk to them, whatever you want to do. So that's a pretty nice system. Anyway, so it was $7,100 with All-Star. It was SES Marietta. They quoted at $8,400. And then your gate company is at $7,100, so they're the least expensive, and that's the company you're using now. And then if you look at the last pages, everything is the same. Everything is the same. I learned later after I got the quote, this All-Star company, they do all kinds of stuff. They basically subcontract it. So I didn't care for that, but I already had that quote. So you can look, this is the same brochure you guys got a few months ago with the system.
I mean, the bottom line is that the system we have is outdated.
It's busted.
And it's broken as well, and there's no reason to put more money on that system when it's gonna break again. So,
The issue, just as a recap, it all started when I got a phone call from a lady because an ambulance couldn't get in.
That was me.
That was you?
That was
Okay.
me in the ambulance,
Okay,
yes.
so you have what's called a Knox box system, which is a little bit more modern. Basically, they run their siren, and the frequency of the siren opens up the gates. In the old days, you had to have a key, it opens up, you had to lock the gate, which you never do. So anyway, it didn't work. And then they came out and they found it was a much bigger problem than just that, because your motherboard was fried. It's an old system. You're paying $2,500 to replace that board in an old system. Doesn't make sense.
Do you, I mean, you manage a lot of places and stuff, like, you know, I know a little bit about electronics, it's not, you know, gates, I guess, like, do they think, do other places put like UPSs on them, or like some sort of surge protection, or like?
Well, you
something
do.
like
You have a UPS now, because what happens is all gates have to be designed that when you have a power outage, they have to open.
Yeah.
And that's done through UPS. You have 4 batteries. Each.
Do we have to replace that? Is that like part of this, or?
No, not powerless. This is the basically the computer in the front. The box.
Like the UPS and batteries are still good?
Yeah, all that stuff you can use. We actually did replace those 2 not long ago, about 6-7 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
So the rest of the system is pretty good. We had the hinges fixed on the gates, if you remember that. That was about 2-3 months ago. So that relieves stress on the operators. So everything else is in pretty good shape. It's just your software and the lockbox is just outdated.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So will the new system still read the stickers, or is it a whole nother way to get in?
It'll be a new system, yeah. And the nice thing about it is with this one, you download an app on your phone, right? And then with that app, you give somebody temporary access. Basically, you're sending them one of those QR codes, and they hold their cell phone up and they get in. But it only works, you can either limit it by how many times they can come, or you can limit it by a certain time or date. It's pretty cool. And I know it works because we put that system in a time limit.
Yeah, I've got it in my condo, thing or something like that.
How do we get in though?
So how do we get in is the question, because right now it reads our sticker.
It'll be a barcode, yeah. It'll be a barcode. But it will be on the left side of the vehicle rather than the windshield. And you just cruise right by. And it's nice because you don't have to get close. Right now, you really have to watch where you're at because this thing is so high. So, and those barcodes, they're dual scanners, they're fast. Yes, ma'am.
Do any of these quotes come with like 12 months of service and warranty, or any warranties or anything like that?
So, on the label, yes, no problem. On the components, yeah, it's 1 year typically.
Okay.
There are some components that sometimes have a little bit more on it, but typically it's 1 year.
Well, this one says 3 years.
But not on all of them, right?
Sorry,
I think that's just on the box itself.
I noticed that these like little adverts for the stuff mentioned, you know, they'll take photos on entry and cloud storage, and you know, like storage is free. Like how?
Well, I mean, if you're interested in that particular system, I can have Accurate Electronic come out the next meeting give a presentation. But the thing is, meanwhile,
No,
you
you don't listen. Gates tell me about it. It's a current issue. We need to get this resolved. We need to get this done. So, I mean, this is my personal opinion. I mean, this system looks pretty good to me.
1 second here, I'm checking something.
Sorry, was the Accurate Electronics the one that cost like 8,000 or also 7,000?
7100.
700.
Oh, whatever.
Is there like a monthly maintenance charge they charge? to
There
keep-
is, yes, Cellgate, you have to have internet connection, so that's about $75 a month. You have that now, you pay, right now you're paying $650 a year for the Edica service you have. And so it's about the same, it's a wash. And it renews in January. So if we don't do anything in January, you hit another $650. And
I said we do it next week before Halloween.
Amen.
um,
And that carnival coming.
Oh, yeah.
Will this require us to get new barcodes, like to pay for
Yeah.
them?
Yes.
Okay.
new barcodes, you can delete the Elica app, that's going to be all new. And they go through the training on it, they offer training. It's so simple, there's really nothing to it.
And it's like you can access family members that come in, you're going to be a market. You're going to get that. Your phone.
Okay.
You just text them a QR code, it's pretty cool. And they have it on their phone, they hold it up to the gate box and they get in.
That's nice. Does that work the same for like Amazon and stuff like that? Here?
They will have code in it, yeah.
Okay.
Amazon, I don't know, I never had it. Amazon typically puts their own system in at no charge. I don't know if you guys have, I have to check with them, because they have the kind line. What they do is it's very slick. They have a software, and if they have a delivery in the community, their truck automatically opens up the gate. If they don't have a delivery, they can't get in. Pretty cool.
I don't know, I've definitely picked up things where the guy takes a picture of like, I threw it over the gate, you know? I'm like, right, that was like a $300 electronic.
Alright, so are you making a motion to get this done? What are you doing?
That's what I want to do.
Okay, so you're making a motion to accept the bid from Acme Electronics?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
Yeah, I can second.
Do we have a time frame of when we think it might start? Is it like a month from now?
Well, I'm gonna reach out to them tomorrow, let them know that you guys voted on it, and then, they look at the inventory, they give us an idea when the parts are in and when the start is. When I did it down there, the other community, it took about 4 weeks before they started to get everything in. And what they do is, we give them a database of, what you have right now, and then they import it into the new system. And all of that has to be done before they install the hardware. Then of course we have to notify Electra, and I don't know what the contract is, I don't know if you get some of that money back, because like I said, you're paid through December 31st. So if you get it done quickly, you might get a month back, but it's minimal.
Does this include a new pole? Because I remember like maybe a couple of years ago, the pole was hit by somebody and the pole was.
It's a whole new system with a stand.
Oh, the pole and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What's next on the agenda? Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda we have the streets. Now, that was a hot mess. So we initially, if you remember, we walked the streets with some of the vendors, and we were looking at doing repairs and seal coating. And then when we did another walk, we realized with another vendor, we realized that in some areas the streets are just in such bad shape. And if you do little patches here and there, the place is going to look terrible. You're going to have all the squiggly lines everywhere, cutouts here and there, and the street really needs to be totally redone.
And people are gonna be like really upset, right? Because it's like, why did my neighbor get his, like mine looks just as bad, right? Like that was the concern too. It's like, how do you do it like equitably? Like, yeah.
It's terrible. So, quick overview. Altogether, we are just shy of 7,800 square yards in road surface, right? And basically, you get, they quote it by how many square yards you have and how thick the asphalt's going to be. And it doesn't really matter how many little repairs, because they're basically coming in, they're grinding the street down, like you see on the main roads, and then they apply the asphalt. So I'm just going to go from basically from the worst to the best. Express Asphalt Solutions out of St. Petersburg for 7,800 square yards at 1.5 inches. They're charging $19.30 a square yard. That brings them to $149,760. So they're the highest. Alto Constructions, which is a big construction company out of Tampa, same square yardage, but they're only putting down 1.25 inch of asphalt. So it's a little bit thinner than the other one. There's 140,000. And then Allface, that's the last guy we walked with. We walked with that committee, I think we went into you. Allface came in at, they actually gave me an option. At 1.25, the thinner layer, they came in at, what's my number? Okay. Yeah, 124, so I can't find it in here.
I'll total 125.
125,000. If you want to go to 1.5 inch, I think it was another 19 grand. So even at that point, they're still the lowest.
What is the current thickness?
I don't know. You don't have a DOT 5 road, I know that, which is the thicker ones. you probably, these developers.
But
they
usually
do-
when they mill the surface, when they mill it, they surface it at the same. as
They
the
take,
white
they
ones.
take down a 1/4 inch when they mill it. And then you basically get a thicker road then after that. Yeah, they just grind it a 1/4 inch, and they grind on the outside of the road by the curb, they grind more. So what happens is, when they put the asphalt down, the curb is still even with the street, you're not gonna have that little edge there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I have to see it, 'cause you're supposed to mill, because when you do the milling and you resurface back to the existing, because that's how the whole road was set up. So that's why I'm asking about what.
Right.
Yeah, they don't go down to the base, because if they go to the base,
No,
then
I'm not
it
saying you
becomes-
don't go to the base when you're milling it, but when you do, you are supposed to
Actually-
put it back at the original existing thickness, because that's how
Says
the road
mill up
was
to
designed.
1.5 inches.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're right, that's what it says here. I had it wrong. I see it here. Actually, 1.25. Okay, so they mill down, then they resurface existing asphalt, 1.25, SP 9.5. So,
I mean, the bottom line is that you can't skip going again. We tried that, as we all know, and it didn't work. So the only way to do this is to do it the correct way this time. And again, it's a lot of money, so there would have to be a special assessment, which we should do and see where that pans out at the end of the day. People want to do the special assessment or not.
so
We can't do
The
it quick.
portion of the reserves plus the special assessment or full special assessment only?
well, it's one of those things. You have to look at the other projects you have. I mean, obviously, the gates are going to be some money out of there, and you don't want to complete your reserves completely. Sometimes what happens is, and there's some options. So basically, the first step would be for the board to make a decision that we're going to take this to the membership, because this is a membership board. Since you don't have money in the bank to pay for this, so it'll be a special assessment. So what happens is we have to put a packet together that outlines exactly what's being done, what the cost is, and then there's option with that as well. You can do a special assessment. Now, keep in mind, you have to collect the money before you start the job, right? So if you do a short-term special assessment, it's a higher bill, higher payment. You do a long-term, it's a little bit less painful, but it also takes longer for you to get the roads done. Or, like some communities do, they get a loan from the bank. And then what they do is they say, and I'm just making up numbers here. Let's say your part of the special assessment is $2,000. Just make up numbers. If you have the $2,000, you can write a check. The people that don't have the $2,000, they can join the payments on the loan. Does it make sense? So that way, if you do a loan, you get the roads right away. It costs you slightly more because now you're paying the interest on the loan. But if you do just a special assessment, there's no interest.
But you still have to do the special assessment, and there has to be a majority vote that says yes.
Correct. So what happens is we put the packet together. We'll give you option A and option B. Option A, it's going to be, we'll come up with something that's sensible. It's going to be XYZ payments. And again, it could be 3 payments, could be 6 payments, who knows. And then option B would be the association gets a loan for the people that cannot write a check for the total, for their share of it. And then what happens is the association makes a monthly payment to the bank. And we have, for the homeowners that opt to go with the loan, they will have basically like a second coupon. They make their payments there. And then the loan has, typically, it depends on the bank, typically the loan has early payoff clause. But sometimes, because you're making a big payment into the loan from the association, there's a fee, basically to, not refinance, I forget what they call it now, but basically to make your small payoff. It's usually a $100 or $200 fee to do that. But those are all things that we'll put on paper. Now what happens is the packet gets mailed out to the membership. We'll have a membership meeting. It's a special assessment membership meeting. During that meeting, the membership votes. Now you can come vote in person or you can vote by proxy. And let's say we don't have a quorum because you need 2/3 of the members have to approve it. Not just 2/3 being here, 2/3 have to approve it, right? So then what happens is, let's say we don't have enough people, not enough people show up. The proxies by law are good for 90 days. So what happens is we temporarily adjourn the meeting. We don't close the meeting, we temporarally adjourn. And that gives us 90 days to go and knock on some doors and ask people, hey, this is what we're doing, are you in on it? And then, and if the special assessment fails, if people say, no, we don't want to do that, then the only choice we have is to basically put a Band-Aid on the road.
What's the life expectancy of what we have right now?
We didn't leave it into it because you have some areas when you come into the community, you make a left on that bend until you come to the back, it's really bad. I mean, you have cracks that are like this wide and deep. So it could go quick.
Walk it at sunset.
Yeah,
Walk it at sunset, you can see how that.
Been there and actually,
Yeah, at this point it comes down to how much rain you have.
it was a waste of money.
Yeah.
So I have a question, so when it comes to like, are we gonna ask for the special assessment for the entire amount? Or, I know we have like the reserve funds, are we gonna use the part of the reserve funds that we've been paying into for road, you know?
It's
Or how does that work?
well, that's going to be up to the board. We'll put a proposal together. We might grab 20,000 or something from the reserve. I don't know. What we have to do is, so I also have to do the budget for next year. So we have to look at what are the anticipated expenses. What could go wrong in the community that we need a lot of money for? So you look at those things, right? I mean, your main expenses really are the roads and the gates. What else is there that really costs a lot of money, you know? But now we know you own the lights. But you missed that part. The lights are not leased, you own them. So Duke is not going to do anything with them. Yes, ma'am.
Question. If the special assessment gets approved,
Yeah.
how do we enforce getting payment? Like, let's say there's a homeowner that says, I'm not paying it.
It's
What's the
exact same.
payment?
It's exact same thing as your pay. Once the membership approves it, it's not optional. So what happens is these people will get notices as usual. And then at some point, they'll go to collections, and then it becomes lien on the property and possibly a foreclosure. Just like if you don't pay your regular fees. That's what living in a community means, you know,
But the
so.
project can't get done until we have the full amount, correct?
I mean, worst case scenario, I don't think that you might have one